Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating theory from our source material, one that takes an ancient, seemingly outdated 364-day calendar and links it directly to modern astrophysics and biblical miracles. If you've ever wondered how the mechanics of ancient timekeeping might actually intersect with the very fabric of space and time, well, you're in the right place. We'll be looking specifically at the lunisolar design of Enoch.
So let's unpack this central mystery. We're looking at the calendar of Enoch. Now, according to modern science, a 364-day year mathematically seems absolutely impossible today, right? Yet, according to our source, this calendar supposedly started flawlessly on a perfectly full moon Wednesday, which happens to be the very day Genesis says the celestial bodies were created. So how on earth could an ancient calendar with such a rigid day count hold the secret to an expanding universe?
Let's start with Section 1. The true Enochian calendar. The source lays out these foundational mechanics, and they are incredibly precise. We're talking exactly 364 days in a year, neatly chopped into 4 equal seasons of 91 days each. Every single season has exactly 3 months, broken down into 30, 30, and 31 days. Because of this exact division, the whole year is locked in to starting on a Wednesday. The upshot here? Religious holidays literally never drift. They fall on the exact same day of the week every single year.
Now, to actually track all of this, the calendar uses a really vivid physical metaphor instead of complex geometry. Imagine the horizon as a series of glowing portals. You've got 6 eastern portals where the sun rises and 6 western portals where it sets. These portals represent the Mazzaroth, or the 12 constellations, physically guiding the sun and moon throughout the year as they shift between the summer and winter solstices. Moving right along to Section 2, the full moon design.
Look at this quote from Chapter 73 of the Book of Enoch. It describes the moon as having this highly specific, wind-driven chariot. The text explicitly states that the moon's first phase, the very beginning of its month, starts in the east on the 30th morning. It actually rises together with the sun in the very same portal where the sun rises.
Now check out this brilliant contrast. The ancient Babylonian calendar, which influences a lot of modern interpretations, by the way, starts the month with a dark, fleeting moon setting in the west. But the lunisolar design of Enoch? It does the complete opposite. Its month begins with a bright, full moon rising in the east precisely as the sun sets, illuminating the entire night sky.
The source also brings up these super-specific fractions for how much the moon actually shines. When the moon is full, it supposedly shines with exactly 1/7 the strength of the sun. Halfway through the month, as it sits with the sun, it goes dark, radiating only a 1/14 of that light. It's a highly specific lunar observation, perfectly synchronized with that 364-day solar cycle. And that brings us to Section 3, the mathematical discrepancy.
Remember that number, 364. That is the strict, unwavering day count of Enoch's ancient year. It's perfectly symmetrical.
But then we have our modern reality, 365.2422 days. That's the actual observable time it takes for Earth to orbit the sun today. So when you subtract Enoch's 364 days from our modern year, you don't just get some vague rounding error. You're left with a highly specific discrepancy, exactly 1 day, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 45 seconds of missing time. Our source refuses to believe Enoch just miscounted. The assumption here is that Enoch's calendar was perfectly accurate for its time. So, what happened to change the Earth's orbit? To figure out where that time went, we turn to Section 4, Cosmic Expansion Theory. Here, the source introduces a pretty wild astrophysical model. Imagine the universe expanding outward like a giant balloon. But the twist is, not only does space expand, but matter itself expands uniformly alongside it. Because everything, including you, me, and the literal measuring stick we use to gauge distance, is expanding at the exact same proportional rate, we don't even notice it. It only becomes a factor if time itself is somehow locally manipulated or frozen.
Which leads right into Section 5, miracles and missing time.
The first big puzzle piece here is the biblical account of Joshua's long day. The source frames this event as a localized space-time bubble. Essentially, cosmic time for the entire universe was frozen, but Earth's time was allowed to continue for an extra day.
So, applying theoretical physics to this, the source argues that while the rest of the universe was frozen, Earth just kept on experiencing time. Because of that, it kept expanding at its usual rate, increasing its mass by about 0.2%.
This increased mass altered gravitational forces, forcing the Earth into a wider orbital path around the Sun to stay balanced. The result? Earth's orbit lengthened permanently by exactly 24 hours, a full day.
Okay, so that accounts for the missing 24 hours. But what about those remaining 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 45 seconds? Well, the second puzzle piece is King Hezekiah's sundial, from 2 Kings. Here, the shadow on the ancient 12-step dial of Ahaz was miraculously moved backwards by 10 degrees, or steps. Normally, 10 steps on a sundial equals about 5 hours on an equinox. But the source points out this event happened during a summer invasion, where the days are naturally longer. When you adjust those 10 steps backward for summer daylight, boom, it precisely accounts for the remaining 5 hours, 48 minutes, and 45 seconds of spatial time alteration, literally down to the second.
When you stack all this together into a timeline, it's incredible. You start with Enoch's original 364-day year. You add the permanent space-time expansion from Joshua's long day. Then you add the spatial contraction from Hezekiah's sundial moving backward. Together, they perfectly match today's observable tropical year of 365.2422 days.
Bringing this all back to the lunisolar design of Enoch, the source hypothesizes that these very same space-time events permanently altered the Moon's orbit too. Originally, to fit perfectly into Enoch's 91-day seasons, the lunar cycle had to be exactly 30.33 days. But because space and time are physically linked, the manipulations, especially space contracting when time moved backwards for Hezekiah, permanently shrink the Moon's orbit to the 29.53 days we observe right now. It's cause and effect, written right into the stars.
So I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought from our sources. We've seen an incredible intersection today between ancient biblical mechanics, the lunisolar design of Enoch, and the expanding cosmos. If a rigid 364-day calendar from antiquity perfectly describes a reality that requires intense astrophysical phenomena to explain today, it really begs the question, who is truly keeping time? Thank you for exploring this fascinating theory with us.